The grand lobby of Sterling National Bank exuded an aura of luxury and sophistication. Polished marble floors shimmered beneath ornate chandeliers, and the air carried a delicate scent of fresh flowers. Tellers behind the counters served customers with the utmost professionalism, each smile a reflection of the bank's elite clientele. At the far end of the room, behind glass walls, sat the bank's branch manager, Olivia Carson. She looked every bit the picture of professional grace in her tailored navy suit, with every detail of her office reflecting her high standards. This particular afternoon, a woman named Maria Simmons entered the bank. She was tall, poised, and wore a simple yet elegant navy blue dress with a pair of stylish flats. Her natural hair was styled in loose waves, and she carried a sleek leather handbag. Everything about her exuded quiet confidence and grace. Maria noticed a sudden hush in the air as she entered, the conversations around her momentarily silencing. A few heads turned in her direction, lingering just a bit too long. She made her way to the reception desk, where a young receptionist greeted her with a slightly nervous smile. "Good afternoon, how can I assist you today?" the receptionist asked. "Hello," Maria said, her voice firm yet polite. "I'd like to discuss opening a high-value account with your bank. Could I speak with the manager, please?" The receptionist hesitated for a moment before nodding. "Of course, please wait here for a moment," she said, then quickly scurried off toward Olivia's office. Inside her office, Olivia glanced up from her computer, raising an eyebrow as she noticed the receptionist's hurried approach. "There's a woman here to open a high-value account," the receptionist whispered, her voice lowered as if she were unsure whether she should even be speaking about it. "But she doesn't really look like the kind of client we usually serve." Olivia's brow furrowed as she glanced at the receptionist. "What do you mean?" she asked, though she had a feeling she already knew the answer. "Well, she's not dressed like someone who would be opening a high-value account," the receptionist said, hesitating as she chose her words carefully. Her gaze then drifted toward Maria. Olivia sighed, clearly annoyed by the receptionist's hesitation. "I'll handle it," she said curtly, her voice leaving little room for further discussion. As Olivia stepped into the lobby, her professional smile barely covered the judgment in her eyes. She walked confidently toward Maria. "Good afternoon. I'm Olivia Carson, the branch manager. How may I assist you?" she asked, offering a handshake. Maria shook her hand firmly, her gaze unwavering. "Hi, I'm Maria Simmons. I'm interested in opening a high-value account," she replied calmly. Olivia's grip was stiff as she shook Maria's hand. "What type of account are you looking to open?" she asked, her voice colder than before. "A high-value account," Maria said simply. "I recently liquidated some assets, and I want to ensure my funds are securely managed." Olivia's eyes flickered with a brief moment of surprise before she quickly masked it with a professional smile. "I see," she said, nodding slowly. "Do you have the necessary documentation to verify the value of your assets?" "Of course," Maria replied without hesitation. She reached into her bag and pulled out a folder containing bank statements, proof of sale for her previous investments, and other relevant documents. Olivia barely glanced at the documents before setting them aside. She crossed her arms, her expression tight. "I'm afraid this branch might not be able to accommodate your needs," she said, the words dripping with condescension. Maria's eyebrows furrowed, but she maintained her composure. "I was under the impression that this branch offered full services to all account holders, regardless of account size," she responded, her voice steady. Olivia's smile stiffened. "We do, but we're selective with the clients we take on," she said, her tone turning more defensive. "Opening high-value accounts requires a certain level of mutual trust and understanding." Maria's gaze sharpened. "Are you implying that you don't trust me?" she asked, her voice calm but firm. Olivia faltered, her discomfort showing. "That's not what I meant," she stammered, clearly caught off guard. Maria didn't flinch. "Then what exactly do you mean?" she asked, her tone unwavering. "I've provided all the necessary documents, and my funds are fully available. Are you refusing service based on my appearance or my lack of a referral?" Olivia's face flushed, realizing the gravity of the situation. I didn't mean it that way," she stammered, her voice faltering. "I just think you might be better served elsewhere." Maria's jaw tightened, and her tone was sharp. "I'd like to speak with someone higher up," she insisted, refusing to let the matter slide. The next day, Maria found herself in the corporate office of Sterling National Bank. sitting across from the regional director, Ethan Parker. Ethan had personally requested to meet with her after receiving a formal complaint regarding the incident at the branch. Ms. Simmons, I want to sincerely apologize for the experience you had yesterday, Ethan said, his tone calm but concerned. What transpired was unacceptable and does not reflect our values as an institution. Maria nodded politely but remained firm. Thank you, Mr. Parker, but an apology alone won't resolve this. What happened was not just a misunderstanding, it was a clear case of systemic bias. Ethan sighed deeply, running a hand through his hair. I understand, and I assure you we take these matters very seriously. How would you like us to proceed? Maria placed the folder with all the relevant documentation on the table. I still want to open an account here at Sterling National, she said, her voice steady, but I need to know that your institution is committed to improving and creating a more inclusive environment for all clients, regardless of their background. Ethan nodded sincerely, his face showing genuine concern. You have my word, Ms. Simmons. We will immediately begin addressing these issues at the branch level and implement mandatory training programs for all staff on diversity and inclusion. Later that week, Olivia was called into a meeting with Ethan and a representative from the Human Resources Department. As she sat across from them, she could feel the weight of the situation. She hadn't expected her actions to lead to such serious consequences. Olivia, Ethan began, his tone firm, Sterling National Bank has built its reputation on trust, respect, and inclusivity. Your actions, whether intentional or not, have put that reputation at risk and deeply offended a valued client. Olivia's face turned pale and she shifted uncomfortably in her chair. I didn't mean for things to get this out of hand, she said, her voice trembling slightly. I was just trying to follow protocol. Ethan raised a hand to stop her. Intent doesn't negate impact, he said firmly. Effective immediately, you will be placed on administrative leave while we review your position within the bank. You'll have the opportunity to explain your actions, but understand that this is a serious matter. The following week saw changes across Sterling National Bank. New diversity and inclusion training programs were introduced, and Maria, who had now become an advocate for change, worked with the bank to ensure their policies truly reflected respect for all clients. As for Olivia, her professional career at Sterling National came to an end. The incident had been a turning point, and she was never reinstated to her position. Maria continued to thrive, her account growing as she invested in community development and businesses that empowered others. For her, the experience served as a reminder of the importance of standing up for what's right, no matter the obstacles. The following months brought significant changes to Sterling National Bank. The implementation of new training programs focused on diversity and inclusion had a noticeable impact. Employees across all branches were now required to undergo mandatory sessions on customer relations, cultural competence, and unconscious bias. Maria was invited to lead a series of workshops aimed at helping staff better understand the challenges faced by clients from diverse backgrounds. It was a role she never expected to take on, but she knew that this was an opportunity to make a real difference. I never imagined this would be where I'd be, Maria said during one of her first workshops, addressing a room full of bankers. But if we don't challenge the status quo, nothing changes. We need to look at our biases and how they impact our clients. Every decision, every interaction counts. Her words resonated with many of the employees, who began to see their roles in a new light. Maria emphasized that this was not just about training, but about creating a culture where everyone felt valued and respected, regardless of their race, background, or appearance. Meanwhile, Olivia found herself navigating through a difficult period. After being placed on administrative leave, she struggled to maintain her professional image. She began attending a series of counseling sessions provided by the bank's HR department, aimed at helping her reflect on her actions and understand the impact they had on others. One afternoon, while sitting in a coffee shop reflecting on the events that had unfolded, Olivia realized how much her own biases had shaped her perception of people. She thought about her initial reaction to Maria, how she had judged her based on her appearance. This was a turning point in Olivia's personal growth. Determined to make things right, Olivia requested to meet with Maria. I owe you an apology, she said when they finally sat down together. I judged you unfairly, and I now see the harm I caused. Maria listened quietly, her expression softening. "It's not easy to admit when we're wrong," Maria replied, "but I respect you for taking responsibility. That's the first step toward real change." Over time, Olivia worked hard to rebuild her career. She completed the training courses, attended additional seminars on empathy and cultural understanding, and slowly began to regain the trust of her colleagues. It wasn't an easy journey, but she was committed to growing both professionally and personally. As for Maria, her influence within the bank continued to grow. Her role as an advocate for inclusivity and respect became central to the bank's new approach to client relations. Maria had turned an unfortunate experience into an opportunity for growth, both for herself and for the institution. As Sterling National Bank transformed, so did its employees. The experience that Maria had gone through was a powerful reminder that true change starts from within, and that we must all take responsibility for creating a fair and just society. Maria's story was shared as a beacon of hope, inspiring others to stand up for themselves and challenge prejudice whenever and wherever it occurred. She proved that by standing firm and demanding respect, one could spark a broader movement for change. In the end, Maria didn't just open an account at Sterling National Bank. She helped open doors to a better, more inclusive future.